Giving some love to Bartolo. It's brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. From 2014 to 2016, his ranks within the Mets rotation are fairly astonishing. First in innings, first in wins, first in walks per nine. He was so solid for them during that stretch. And we're talking, Bart, because Ervin Santana did an interview over the weekend in which he noted that the Mets and Bartolo have been in touch this offseason about a reunion. Of course, Santana and Colon were teammates in Minnesota. Give us a little bit more clarity as to where Bart and the Mets are here, Andy.
Well, I can report that Ervin Santana talked to a guy who told a guy who, I mean, look, this is speculative at best. My understanding is that the Mets have not been considering a reunion with Bartolo Colon. That didn't prevent it from getting, retweeted and linked and whatever. Anything's possible in this crazy market, including, of course, Todd Zeile making a Palmeiro-type comeback, as we discussed. It may happen, but they're not hot on his heels.
Sal, what would you think of bringing him back?
I love it. I don't see the downside to it. Now, do I expect Bartolo Colon to go out there and be what he was when he was here? No, but I'd rather take a flyer on Bartolo, a guy who's familiar, obviously, with New York and with that team, a guy who has fun no matter what, always has the right attitude, a guy who, as you just showed the numbers, was their best pitcher, even with all those young guns, with Harvey and Syndergaard and DeGrom. So he's the most durable, certainly. For what? There's no risk. I'd rather have him than a guy like Jason Vargas, who I think Jason Vargas also will get battered against a bad lineup like you would probably expect from Bartolo at this point.
This is getting borderline ridiculous that we're still talking about this guy being on the free agent market, being signed by teams. I mean, at what point
I think we may
is
be
he
at
going to
that
call
point.
it quits? But Todd, he wants to pitch again. And if you need depth,
older, Todd Zeile
here's some other names
Colon?
out
That's
there.
my question.
But if you need depth, Todd, do you call Bartolo?
Hey, listen, I think they should bring him back just because every time we talk about him, everybody smiles. We need a lot of smiles in New York City. But look, at the end of the day, if you have a chance to get him, obviously he's not going to cost a ton of money. We went into last season talking about how the starting rotation had such depth that Gazelman and Lugo were like quality starters that could be a 1 or 2 somewhere else, and we're going to be our 6 and 7 here.
How'd that go?
So, yeah, and we saw how that went. So if I'm taking a chance at getting a guy that could be a 5 or 6 starter, I'll take Colon still at his age with his conditioning regimen that we know is strong off-season conditioning regimen.
You don't pitch that long
I'll put
without
that guy out there because he knows how to get guys out, and he does know how to burn up innings. So at the end of the day, I'll take him as a 5 or 6 guy.
Hey, I think it's going to be tough for them. I think they need a little rotation insurance, rotation. No, I think it's going to be tough for them to find a guy like Andrew Kashner would be a guy who would take a flyer on. Great stuff. He's going to want to know he can be in a rotation. Bartolo does not have to be given that assurance, of course. But again, I don't know. We'll see.
And he can always come off the bench for a little extra pop.
That's true.
Nice right-handed bat off the bench.